Alright, this is my new and improved what my job's like video. I made one 3 years ago. Just a tiny bit over three years ago. And I wanted to make a better one. So this is the new and improved what my job is like video. Welcome. Alright, so basically we're just gonna follow this screen. Let me turn off my fan real quick. Basically, we're gonna follow this screen throughout the entire process. So this is a 156, which has to do with how many threads cross one another, how many threads intersect per 1 inch. So in a 1 inch square, 156 threads intersect. So you use different meshing for different colors and for different types of jobs, basically, to put it simply. Anyways, this screen did not get printed on because there was a problem with it, but it's all taped up as if it were going to be printed on. So just pretend that this is dirty with ink, and typically, well, actually always, the printers will pull the tape after they print, and they'll take a solvent and they'll wipe out the image area to get the ink out of it so that it doesn't stain the screen. So I'll be right back. Alright, so screens normally will come to me like this with no tape, except they'll be all dirty with ink. The only example of a dirty screen that I have, which they stack them up right here typically, but I'm pretty caught up. This is the only example that I have of a dirty screen, but it was yellow ink, so you can't even tell. Anyways, you take this screen. Normally I do two of these little ones at a time. See, there's an extra spot. You're in the vlog, buddy. No, I'm just kidding, I won't put you in it. You're in the vlog, buddy. Alright. So, that is right there. We changed this recipe to the proper screen, or the recipe for the proper screens. Click the fun button. Opens up the door. So this machine is called the Ecotex. It washes the screens for me so I don't have to do each step manually, and they come out over there. Here is an example of a dirty screen now. These screens are big because these come from our screen printers in the rigid department, which we have two different screen print departments. One for textiles, like shirts and stuff, and one for signs, which we call rigid. They have different size screens. These screens, for example, these screens don't have any, these frames don't have any screens. They don't have any mesh on them because I removed it. It was damaged. So every Wednesday we ship those out to be replaced. All right. Just a few minutes later and she comes out the other side. I'm letting it drip dry for a second so I don't get puddles of water everywhere. And then I will take it over there and I'll degrease it to get all the chemicals off of it. Alright, I'm going to degrease this screen now. Some pretty violent chemicals, so I had to put this respirator on. Alright, it's been a little while because I had to do a couple other things, but normally once it stops being a solid stream and it's just drips, then I'll take it over here to the drying rack. Right there. Here's another example of what it looks like to run screens through the machine. This screen's dirty. It's been printed with white ink, as you can see. They wiped it out of the image area, as is standard. And the button is not green yet, so I'm not going to put this in yet. But here in a couple minutes, we can see that we have stuff going on in the first two chambers already, so I can't add another screen in yet. Once that one moves and that one moves, then the fun light will start blinking. And here is an example of a popped screen that I'm going to have to send back. So I'll strip that screen right now. Sometimes the screens will come out. Sometimes the screens will come out with a little bit of junk still on them. So we take care of that manually. Alright, so I'm about to go out there and grab some screens to coat. I'll be doing that here in a second. I'm actually going to bring some screens out there and put them away in the storage racks first. And then I'll replace those with ones that need to be coated. Alright, I need more screens to coat. I need some 156s. I don't have any more stocked up, but Eddie is degreasing a bunch of them right now, and they're drying, so I can probably just start coating right now, and by the time I'm done with these 9 that I have, he'll have a bunch more ready. Alright, so these are coating troughs. One side is rounded and the other side is sharp. For the big screens, I use the sharp side, but for these smaller screens, I have these smaller coaters and I use the rounded side. So I'm going to get this set up. So right here we buy these gallon jugs of this orange stuff that we coat the screens with. We call it emulsion. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill up these troughs real quick. Alright, we've got that poured in there. So I'm going to come over here now, change the recipe to recipe number 3, which tells the troughs how many times they need to go and coat the screen and whatnot. So I'll show you that. This is a low mesh screen. I coat these once and then I let them dry and then I coat them again. This is the second coating for this one. So it's all set up in there, troughs. So this one is only going to get one coat on this side of it. That's what recipe 3 is. Press the fun blue button. There we go. See, only that front trough. That's called this is called the I don't know. I call it the shirt side. It's the side of the screen that touches the shirt. So that's going to go up and then they come back down. There we go. It's coming back down. Going back to its resting place so that I can put another screen in. So it leaves a little bead of extra emulsion at the top. Just take that with a card scraper. Put that right back in the trough. And we go ahead, hang this baby upside down in the rack so that that emulsion can sag and cure. And there's a fan on there above it to dry those.